Hello, welcome to the show. Today, I have a question from Maddie. And gee, was this perfectly timed, Maddie? Because this situation happened to me only a few days ago and it is fresh on my mind and I'm real keen to talk about it. So, her question was, have you ever been judged for your parenting? And I would start off by saying that I think if you are a good parent, you are your own worst judge at all times. Often, friends of mine who are really good parents will beat themselves up about the smallest of insignificant things that have not scarred their child, that have not set back their years of hard work, that are just a normal reaction and response in the situation and completely understandable. But it's those kind of things I think that good parents keep themselves up at night about. And this is sort of one of the things that I think about a lot when you're thinking about the judgment that other people put on other parents and just the sense of, I don't know whether entitlement's the right word, or the sense of confidence to just waltz on up to somebody you don't know and offer your opinion. It always really amazes me because you have absolutely no idea what has happened in that person's life in the preceding half hour, day, week, whatever. I was talking last week about the fact that I feel like I am in the hardest stage, bar the first 6 weeks at the moment, because I am parenting a toddler who's becoming independent, and good for her, but and really annoying for me. But I was the mum that was dragging a screaming, well, not dragging, but carrying a screaming toddler out to the exit of Taronga Zoo because it had taken an hour for us to make the small distance that we'd made, because I'm sitting there trying to let her come to it in her own time and do it if she and at a certain point I'm like, I'm the boss around here and you are due for a nap and we need to go the hell home. But even that process of getting to the exit with this kid screaming, I was trying to make sure that everybody around me knew, like, nothing to see here, guys. I'm not a maniac parent. This isn't me being really horrible to my child. I'm just in one of those situations. So you're kind of trying to make sure that they can tell that you're not a serial killer with a child by the way that you hold your face. So I was kind of trying to laugh it off while getting her to the exit, because in your mind, all you're thinking of is, God, I hope these people don't think like I'm not good to this child, because I really care about her and I love her. But F me, I'm just at my wit's end. So, yes, I feel like that sense of judgment is with you all the time on a personal level. But the other day, I had quite a specific example that happened to me that I really was quite surprised by. So my kid is pretty predictable when it comes to bedtimes, naps, and things like that. As I mentioned in a previous episode, sleep was one of the things that I was like, we are going to approach this with military precision because I am going to get this right. Because the alternative is that I am up at 3 a.m. by myself, and those dark hours during that time were the worst for me. So I was like, I do not want a kid that doesn't sleep. I'm going to do everything in my power to give her all of the tools she needs to sleep. If she then is not a sleeper, then that's fine, but it is not going to be because I wussed out on this. I'm going to push forward. So anyway, now we're in a good rhythm with sleep. She's a good sleeper. We know the routine. But the whole toddler phase has clipped in, and so it takes us a flipping long time to get to the actual cot now. We've got to go through the process. Before, it was just like, oh, book, and then I'd go, brush your teethies time, and she'd be like, brush our teethies. Now, no, we're not just brushing our teethies. We've got to negotiate. She's got to pull Cupcake the giant unicorn out. She's got to show me that she does the horsey song on his back. Then we got to go into the kitchen, try and pull something out of the drawers. I got to talk her out of that. Then we go back to the books, and I have to tell her, no, we've read the books. We're moving to brush our teeth now. Then we brush our teeth, and she doesn't want that toothbrush that I've given her, so we have to have another toothbrush. And then she needs to pat the Barbies in the bath and tell them that they have to have a good night. And then we need to go back out again and ride Cupcake the unicorn. I mean, it's really just a time. So the actual process of getting her into bed is an utter punish. But I got her into bed. We had a lovely textbook, like Nine Eyes time, where I sing her I Love You, Olivia song. And then I walked out the door and she was like, Mummy, another cuddle. And I ran back and gave her a cuddle. And then I went to shut the door and she was like, bye, Mummy. And I was like, bye. And I was like, oh, what a wonderful little nap routine that was. And then about 30 seconds later, she starts screaming for no reason. Now, this is very unlike my child at nap time, very unlike her. And I was like, she's fine. Like, nothing's happened. So I look on the monitor. She's standing up in her cot and she's screaming about her water bottle. So I was like, okay, she's chucked a water bottle out of her bed. So I run in. I was like, okay, I'll give you your water bottle. There you go. I'm expecting, because in normal circumstances, that would be enough. And she is beside herself. And then she starts telling me to get the water bottle out of her bed because it's not her water bottle. It's your water bottle. I was like, this is your pink water bottle. You just threw it out of the bed and started screaming for your water bottle. So I came in and I gave you your water bottle. And she's like, no, it's your water bottle. Get it out, get it out, get it out. And I'm like, okay, all right. I didn't mean to upset you with the water bottle. I'll go out. Now, my mistake here was truly going in there in the first place because as I opened the door, usually when the door shuts, it's nice time. Now, she doesn't wail and hoot and holler for a long time. She's like, eventually, she'll usually kind of start talking to her toys and then she'll go to sleep. Sometimes she might have a little bit of a cry or something, nothing major, but then she kind of settles in. So usually when the door's shut, she knows mummy ain't coming back, right? Unless you really need her. Like if she needs me, I'm going to come back, hence the going in to get the water bottle. But when I opened the door a crack, I saw that she was closing the blinds. And she has these blinds in her room. She's very predictable. When she wakes up and she's ready to wake up, she opens the blind, she stands up, waits for me to come in. Sometimes she'll open the blind, she'll stand up, and then she'll go, I'm not ready to go to sleep yet. So she goes and closes the blinds and goes back to sleep. So the blinds are a real indicator for me of whether she's going to go to sleep or not. As I opened the door the first time to bring in the water bottle, I saw her turn around and go to close the blinds. Should have shut the door then. That was my mistake. Anyway, note for next time, the door remains shut. So I then come outside and I'm like, okay, well, do you want me to take this water bottle outside? You don't want it in your bed? Yes, no, take it outside, take it outside. So I'm like, okay, but you're okay with me taking it outside? Yes, yes, yes. So I go outside, I shut the door. We are screaming the house down for the pink water bottle again. And I'm standing out the doors going, are you shitting me? You got to be kidding. I just walked in here with the pink water bottle. But she's a smart kid, right? She doesn't scream for things that aren't reasonable. Like if she's screaming for a pink water bottle, she usually wants a pink water bottle and I'll just give it to her and it'll shut her up. And she's not much of a screamer. So I was just like, what is happening? Like, what is this about? What I think it was probably about is she didn't want me to go. And I think she knew I was going to work. This was a Sunday. I had to go to work. And I think she knew I was going to go to work. So I think that was what the issue was. So anyway, I go back into the room because she's screaming. And I'm like, okay, I'll bring your pink water bottle back. And she's like, no, get it out. And I'm losing my mind at this point. So then we go through another process where I talk to her about the water bottle and I said, you've asked me to take it outside and then last time you screamed for mummy to bring it back in. So this time if I take it outside, that's it. Yes, that's it. We're not having the water bottle back in here again. Yes. Off I go again. Back the screaming comes. So I am in a situation now where I went in the third time. Then I'm like, okay, maybe it's not about the water bottle. I picked her up. I sung to her. I changed her nappy. She was saying, I did a poo. She didn't do a poo. I changed her nappy. I put her back in bed. But then at that point, I'm like, okay, my love, you got to go to bed. Like this is actually this meltdown, whatever it is, you're clean, you're dry, you're fine. Everything's okay. You are having some kind of weirdo situation with the water bottle. I don't know what that is about, but you have to go to bed. You're now overdue your nap. The best thing for you is go to sleep. You have to go to sleep. So I walk out, shut the door. She's having a meltdown. The nanny that looks after her on a Sunday, she's been with me since the very beginning. She looks after her each week when I'm out away on a Sunday for work. She is like second family. If there's somebody that has to be here that's second to me, that she loves as much, it's going to be her. So she was turning up. I knew everything would be fine. She usually turns up to absolute peace and quiet as my child sleeps for 2 hours and she just does whatever she needs to do around the house for a couple of hours. So when she walked up that staircase and heard screaming, she was like, what is happening? I was like, your guess is as good as mine. So in she came. She said, look, I think if you go, it's just not going to, make a difference. If you keep going in, I'll just go into her. I'll settle her. And so you just get out of here, get to work, and I'll settle her back down to sleep. So I'm like, okay, I just don't think it's going to be good for me to go in there again. I will go. So I open up the door and there's a couple of people walking up the stairs and I am mortified because my child is screaming and you don't want anybody to think your child is sad and upset because you're trying your best to make sure she is happy and cared for. So, of course, I said to them, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. My kid is having a meltdown. And they said, yeah, we know. That's why we came up. And P.S., I've never seen these people before in my life. They don't live in my building. I don't know where they came from. I don't know whether they were visiting friends. I don't know whether they heard this on the street and just found their way into my building. Either way, I was like, huh? I've obviously come out as a mother who's like trying to set the tone and say, hey, this is a bit shit, but my kid's having a meltdown. even if you came up, I get it. My kid was like, having a proper crack at it. But I get it. If you're concerned, come up. But then if the person comes out and it's obviously not a situation, say, oh, God, okay, that's great. Just wanted to make sure you're okay, or just didn't know if you needed any help, whatever. No. They stood their ground and then said, yeah, but it's been going on for a while. Excuse me? Oh, shit. You're doubling down. Okay. All right, great. So now I'm standing on the landing of my apartment building and they're not letting me pass and they're not backing down. And I'm like, what do you think is going on here? Like, I am the mum of a 2-year-old. Like, my kid has just been negotiating an absolutely insane thing with me about a water bottle that doesn't even make sense. Like, you think this has been going on for a long time? The last 45 minutes have felt like 5 years to me. Like, I'm aware this has been going on for a long time because I've been trying to work out how the F do I make it stop for the last 45 minutes and doing everything that I felt in my power I could do, to the point where I'm like, I got nothing left in the tank anymore. I don't know how I'm supposed to help you. All I know is that you need to sleep because that's the best thing for you. So then the only thing that came out of my mouth was, I'm not a bad mother. Because I didn't know what else to say. I'm like, this is the inference. Like, if I have said to you, I'm sorry, she's having a bit of a meltdown, and you've then said, yeah, but it's been going on for a while. Like, what am I supposed to do with that information? So then I walked past them and walked down the stairs. And they were again, yeah, we know, we didn't say you're a bad mother, but it's just been happening for a bit. I'm like, okay, thanks so much for your concern, assholes. Like, do you think I feel bad enough as it is for the fact that I'm trying to comfort my child and make sure that she has a good sleep and to go into nap and to know what's the right thing to do and to know that she settles herself? That's how she goes to sleep. She's as predictable as they come because we've done this since the dawn of time, and she's acting in a really unpredictable way, but I know she's not sad or unhappy or needs me. She's just like having a bit of a moment. So then I'm like, if I just step out of the room, me coming in with a goddamn water bottle she keeps asking for is not helping. So if I just step out of the room and let her have a moment to herself and like come through the other side, is that gonna, like, give me a break? And then I get in the car and I go to work and I'm all like, did I let her cry for too long? Am I a bad parent? Should I have done that? What do I do? Like, I care and love for this child so much. All I want to do is give her a safe environment to grow up where she feels comfortable and cared for and everything. And then you just end up feeling like this horrible person because of like one moment in your entire life, in that situation, there's a part of me that's like, okay, you hear a kid screaming and you want to come and check everything's okay. Totally fine. But if the mum comes out and says, fuck, we're in the middle of a goddamn meltdown and I'm like trying to work out what to do, just do me a favor and don't double down, because that really throws you into a spiral and it's very unhelpful. So yes, Maddie, I have been judged for my parenting just recently, and thank you for letting me share my thoughts about it. I would love to hear your thoughts. You can always send me a question at the link in the description of the episode, or you can just send me a little note and tell me what you think about this, if you've had a similar experience, if I'm overreacting, if I'm underreacting, if I just need to let it the F go. I mean, I have let it the F go now. I was just like, that first day though, I'm just like, are you serious? It's just really hard, you're just often just trying your best, and sometimes you don't get it 100% right, but you're also not necessarily dealing with an individual that you can get it 100% right at that, because they're their own individual, and sometimes they're screaming at you about a pink water bottle and it doesn't make sense. God, I can't wait till I get out of this phase. And then somebody who's in another phase of parenting will tell me, oh, well, that phase is over, but then this phase starts. Shut up. Don't tell me that. Let me just revel in the fact that this one will be over at a certain point in time and move on with my life. If you've got a question, as I said, just head to the description of the episode and you can submit it there, and I will see you next week.